We're predicting the future. Stay tuned. I'm Robert,
I'm Daniel.
I'm Toss.
and this is Grizzly Kiki. What's up?
Woo!
Hey.
Pew, pew,
Bow. What's up,
Ha-
Toss?
What's up? Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Happy Memorial Day from SpongeBob to all of our viewers.
Yes. What's going on, y'all?
Oh, nothing. Just taking our dog to doggy school.
Yeah. This is our first official, in the training studio, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Session.
You know the
Yeah.
part of the episode where they take them to to that giant gymnasium for dogs? That's basically where we're at with Gus right now. It's kind of
Wow.
it's kind of fun to be like, oh, we're at that part of a it's me or the dog episode.
Oh my God, absolutely. We have this really great trainer who this weekend we covered walking commands. Like we're first working on walking, like loose leash walking where your dog doesn't pull. And so he had us do all sorts of drills, walking around cones, doing figure eights around the cones, and then weaving in and around the cones to get Gus used to all sorts of different walking scenarios, but also to pay attention to us. So really made him work out his mind. And then we also learned stop and sit, so that if something's going on where we're walking or we want to stop walking, he can take a break, but he knows what to do. Because what what the trainer was telling us after he did his in-home assessment with us the week before last is that Gus basically, he didn't really have as much structure as we thought he did, and he thinks he's in charge. So this is all about kind of Barbara and I asserting our dominance over Gus and letting him know that we're the pack leaders. And we're using this special leash that's supposed to really give him a cue, no, you're supposed to do this, that, and the other, and it's really working, pretty well, I would say.
That's great, guys.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I feel like we're so much closer to bringing him to social events, potentially. So
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's up with Utah?
Yeah, no, things are good. I saw old friends, Stephen Sondheim's Old Friends on Broadway this past week. It's
I was
starring
gonna say Old Friends. Who'd you see?
It's starring Bernadette Peters and Lea Salonga, and it was really good, actually. It's like basically a review of his work and life. So you got to hear songs from Company and Into the Woods and Sweeney Todd and Merrily We Roll Along and all of those other shows that are iconic for him. But it's done with this group, and Lea Salonga is phenomenal in this show. And she has done things that I've never thought she could do. Because if anyone who doesn't know, Lea Salonga was Princess Jasmine and the voice of Princess Jasmine and the voice of Mulan.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
She was the voice of Princess Jasmine and and Mulan, and she's a very well-known Broadway actress. She's been working for 20 plus years in the industry. Was Eponine at one point when she started as Eponine, and then she did Miss Saigon. She was the original Miss Saigon, but she's gotten to this point in her career where now she can start taking on these voices or songs that are heavy hitters. So they gave her in the show songs from Mrs. Lovett's songs from Sweeney Todd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not Bernadette. which would make sense because Bernadette is like older now and like she probably can't hit some of those notes anymore. So, but it was just like to see Leia's range in the show was incredible. Like Leia doing Mrs. Lovett was like a whole nother like blew my mind. And also I got to meet her after the show, which was
Ooh, that's
Oh
cool.
fun.
wow.
Yeah, because she's friends with my friend who I used to he was the producer for the show Allegiance, which was like George Takei's musical. So Leia came out. She like said hi and we got to talk. She's also she's like as soon as this show is done at the end of June, she's getting on a plane to the Philippines and doing Into the Woods in the Philippines, and she's playing the witch.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's very interesting. I feel like those two roles are a little bit, you know, like they're taking her out of her comfort zone in
yeah,
similar ways. That's really
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love it, and she can totally do it. And it's great to have like an Asian American icon like Leia in just like being able to like flourish. I feel like she is going to be the Bernadette and Patty of like the next generation,
Hmm.
which is great. Because she totally deserves it. Like her talent is incredible.
Yeah,
So
she's stunning.
yeah. So I've been wanting to get into the pride mood, especially like in these times right now, and I binged Queer as Folk
Did,
again, and this is
did
my
that
second
get you in the pride mood?
a little bit. Uh,
Okay.
may it's interesting. So I loved Queer as Folk when it came out. Uh, in the early 2000s. It like started the century actually, Queer as Folk. That's wild to me, first of all, that it's been
Hmm.
25 years. And yeah, I remember like I used to like have to hide to watch this show and I was like obsessed with it, obsessed with the characters, everything. And yeah, watching it again, I loved it. It had like it's like a guilty pleasure. That's what it felt like to me, like watching it again because like um the characters and storylines are very like broad strokes, but it's still a lot of the themes, sadly, are still going on today. A lot of the political themes that they touched on are still going on today. And so I think Queer as Folk will be important despite being a dated show. It'll be important no matter what generation picks it up. And it would be great I think it'd be great for them to, I don't know, do like a reunion special or something like that. I've been actually like searching the web to see like what's been out there with the cast and everything. I think the last thing they did online was a benefit for the Actors Fund in 2021, where
Oh,
they all zoomed together during the pandemic. So
Oh.
yeah,
I hadn't even heard that they had gotten back together for anything.
yeah. So they
So,
all zoomed together
interesting.
except Gail Harold and Thea Gill, Brian and Lindsay. They were not in that, and I think that's because they've retired from acting completely. So
Isn't that a
y-
little weird? Like, isn't that a little bit like code that there's a problem?
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, it's like a social get together with former coworkers, and
yeah,
so the only reason you wouldn't come is if
yeah,
you didn't like someone.
yeah. I don't know. It's weird that they weren't there. I was like, huh. So
Because
eh.
blaming it on retirement just seems a little odd to me. You know what I mean?
yeah. So well, maybe in this 25 year we'll get another reunion and we'll see Brian Kinney again. But well,
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I question the rewatchability of a show like Queer as Folk purely from the standpoint of the traumatic elements of the show. You know what I mean? From myself. So
oh,
I don't know.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah, it's a very there's some heavy stuff that Queer as Folk touched on throughout the years. Like dating someone HIV positive, uh surviving crystal meth addiction, surviving a bombing,
Queer
all of
homeless
these,
youth.
yeah, queer homeless youth, conversion therapy. There was like a lot of heavy things going on, but always with like a little bit of smile, a little bit of glitter, and like dance music in the background. I enjoyed it because it was like I related a lot to the party boy part of it because that was a part of my life at one point.
Right.
But it was, yeah, I think it's a good part, and it was the first show to depict gay love on television. So it always has like its hallmark there. But we do need new stories, and I hope next month we'll be getting like other stuff like for Pride.
I hope so too, but
Yeah.
I have my own arsenal every year that I take out for Pride. So
Yeah.
but you're moving on to Noah's Ark, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna start Noah's Ark and see that side of uh gay male life, which should be interesting. I watched the first episode. I enjoyed it. Noah is very sweet. He's a very sweet soul. Reminds me a little bit of Michael.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Yeah, and like personality wise, like just like a sweet soul type. Yeah.
I would say if I were to compare him to another fictional character, it would be Carrie Bradshaw. But
Mm,
because it's like I don't know, different priorities, I guess, as a
yeah.
character.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring us to rewatch. Well, Daniel's never watched Noah's
No.
Ark, so
I've
we're
seen like
gonna
an
watch it
episode
for
or
the first
two, but
time.
that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made him
Yeah.
watch the drag episode before, but that's about it.
Mhm.
What do I
Um,
have to look forward to? Does it get heavy at times too?
it does, but it is very much coming from a place uh, of joy primarily.
Good.
And there are difficult things that take place, but I feel like it's not the show is it has that similar stereotype where it's very stereotype forward because of the time when it was coming out. But with that come these very nuanced stories that are touching and not as sterile as some of the other shows that like depict queer characters, I think. And so
Yeah.
that's what I remember the most from Noah's Ark. It is
Okay.
a little cheesy, but it's fun.
Cool. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
she's a good time. Um, that is kind of a good segue because they are coming out with a movie or something, right?
Mhm.
And so, with that concept, we have decided to take a look into the future and predict what we think is going to happen in pop culture for the rest of 2025. I think that this is just like a fun little, like, almost like a teenage girl exercise. But it's also, we need stuff like this to take our minds off of the severity of things
Yeah.
right now. So, and I feel like I need to state that these predictions are unhinged, unserious, and 100% entertaining. We are not, we're not, the Nostradamus of the celebrity world. Like, no, we're just having a good time. So, okay, I'm gonna be very honest. Our assistant, ChatGPT, gave me this idea, And so I decided to ask it to elaborate and give me its thoughts on what they think is going to happen over the course of the year. And I feel like, some of these are some interesting things. Some of them just sound like things that maybe have happened before, but so one of the first ones that it suggested is that a major celebrity gets permanently banned from Twitter/X. First, I appreciate it acknowledging both names because I feel like news sites and other places that would be citing X or Twitter call it X now. So I appreciate that part. But a major celebrity that permanently gets banned from Twitter or X, who could this be?
Kanye.
Well, but is that surprising? I guess.
That's not surprising. Yeah.
No.
No, Kanye's, if he were to be banned, would not be surprising.
Are there any other candidates? Like, I mean, I don't know why Azalea Banks comes to mind.
That was
That's
the
not
one I was thinking, yeah, but also it's not like
That's
But I
also
tracks
not
for her.
surprising either.
yeah.
She comes off a little. It feels to me like when she's doing her thing, she comes off as venomous, and then she'll take a break for a few days and be nice, and then go right back to being venomous, and it's like, okay, but
She's bipolar.
okay, but I don't know. I don't know. What about a pop star who announces a retirement only to then announce a Las Vegas residency the following week? Who does that sound like to you?
I mean, Cher is the first person that comes to mind for me because she's gone on like
Yeah.
two finale tours so far. So I feel like that it's not necessarily implausible for her to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could
mean,
see Elton John doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Elton doing that, or even the other one, the Piano Man. What's his name?
Billy Joel.
Yeah, I could see Billy Joel doing that. More so Elton though, because I think Elton is more Vegas than Billy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Billy just announce like some kind of medical issue?
Oh yeah.
We were talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he has some sort of brain issue, like he had to cancel everything.
No.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else because like Elton John is definitely that personality type,
Yeah.
I'm also thinking of when Jay-Z announced that he would retire and then he released like 2 or 3 more albums after that. It's strange to me that anyone would announce a retirement when it's like this is supposed to be something you love, like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Do you feel like sometimes they feel like they don't have anything left to say? Like, I feel like being a creative is like really, I'm like, it's like really hard. It's just the constant need the constant need to like churn out content and material that's new, that you like, that people are gonna like that's a lot. Like
That is a very, very fair point.
It seems very complicated and I don't know, maybe not rewarding sometimes.
I feel like it's incredibly limiting to just shut the door completely, though.
That's true, but I feel like people...
It's one thing to take a break, but it's another to say, I'll never do this again.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's limiting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about celebrity couples that are just random? Like, that don't go together, essentially? Example. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton.
Wow.
She made that shoe fit.
There's one that's being heavily rumored. I can't remember who it is, but it's like it's a very strange pairing. I wish I could remember. If I did, this conversation might be a little more interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Can't think of any.
I mean, there is one I want to say, but I almost don't want to do it.
Do it.
Pedro Pascal and Bad Bunny. There, I did it.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that very much.
I would too, very much.
What about a major talk show host that gets canceled again? Are there any left that have been canceled before? Because I feel like we're
I mean, who was the last one? Was it Ellen the
Ellen.
last one that was canceled?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll come back and they get canceled again.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness. That would be interesting.
Could see that happening. Like some time has gone, people forgive Ellen, and then she comes back and then she gets canceled again.
Mhm. But I feel like this time she would come back as like an actual like nasty talk show host. You know what I mean? Like she would
Lean
come
in.
back. Yeah, she would like really
Yeah.
lean in, and it would just be like maybe like Roseanne Barr level unhinged. I think
Oh,
I'm in.
I
Oh.
wonder if I do wonder if there's a world where in the right context Ellen DeGeneres' rudeness, right? Because that's the whole reason that this is
Mhm.
like
she was no, she was like a nasty boss, basically.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was like rude. She was rude and she mistreated her
Yeah.
her staff and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's a world where in the right context she can exist in the pop culture landscape. I don't know.
Well, that's if she wants to. She probably doesn't
Yeah.
at this point, you know, because she released like a stand-up special, like her last one, I think, recently.
I think so. Yeah.
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 It might be one of those things where she just doesn't have anything left to say.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's true.
And I'm sure the residuals are lovely. Okay, let's talk about surprise albums, tours, and reunions. So, ChatGPT is predicting that Rihanna is going to release a country album. What do we think?
I mean, we just got a Rihanna song this week. Did you guys hear it?
I saw that it existed and then I immediately forgot.
It's for the Smurfs movie.
No.
Yeah. She
No.
released a song for the Smurfs movie. I did not listen to it yet either.
Oh man. So none of us have an opinion.
No.
I feel like we should do a first listen
Really?
for Rihanna.
I think we're gonna get in trouble with like the copyright
Oh yeah, that's
laws
true.
or whatever, but we can do it after the pod.
Yeah.
What if Britney Spears releases a punk album this year?
Oh
I mean,
my
she
god.
was just like, I don't know if you saw, but I saw it today in the news, i.e. Twitter, that she was on her own private plane and she wanted to smoke a cigarette, and they told her not to, and then there was like a thing happened, and so I was like, oh, like now Britney Spears is like really like bucking authority.
Yeah,
Can you
Britney
imagine?
doing
She gets
a punk rock album? That'd be cool.
like mohawk chains, like the whole night
Yeah.
plaid.
I would love that. I mean, Mariah's done a rock album, so
Oh my god, I know.
She hasn't
That'll
released
ever
it
come
yet.
out.
she has not released it. She just talked about it.
She has been threatening to do it, and I wish she would. I really, really, really wish she would. What about Gaga doing an unplugged jazz and metal album collab with Metallica? Do we see that for the future?
I don't know how that would sound.
Like we're talking like mixing, her sweet beep bop boop with like Enter Sandman, like those meeting here
Yeah,
somewhere. Like where does the bridge join? You know what I mean? Where does it join the two? Exactly.
Maybe. Stranger things have happened. I could see Gaga. Well, one, I could see Gaga collabing with Metallica because I think they
She's
have
done it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's done it already.
Mm-hmm.
But jazz specifically, when the collab that happened was all like metal.
All metal.
But yeah, it's not. I don't know. I see that to me is more within the scope, I think. And I feel like it would almost have to be a metallic orchestral sound for jazz music, or taking the orchestral elements of jazz and putting them into metal. It has to be like, it can't be just like randomly both genres together. It has to like be heavily like more heavily leaning on one than the other. But that could be very interesting. I think a little more interesting than Destiny's Child having a reunion tour that is teased but never materializes.
Who cares?
Wow.
Okay, I will say though, the streets are talking. that Brandy and Monica are going on a co-headlining tour, and that Kelly Rowland is rumored to be one of the openers for the
Oh,
tour.
that I will go to.
I too am very interested. This is like, it's so interesting for people that I would have seen in concert when I was much younger to go on tour, and then I'm sitting here like thinking about it. And so that's why I'm like, I should stop hesitating and just go, because like even the nostalgic part of me will enjoy whatever's there. Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo announcing a collab just to break the internet. That feels predictable to me. And I feel like Taylor Swift is not this kind of like this
Well,
level of predictable.
well, you know they don't like each other, right?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
No, do
Yeah.
tell.
There's
Because
actually
didn't Olivia Rodrigo open for Taylor Swift on one of her tours?
did she? I don't remember, but I know there's like a feud going on. It's like we'd have to look this up, but my Swiftie
Oh.
friend told me like that yeah, Swifties do not like Olivia Rodrigo, and it's not just because this is not a thing like just the stans don't like each other. This is
Mhm.
like something happened between Olivia and Taylor. I think it's because like Olivia does her sound does take a bit from Taylor as well. So I don't know. Like
Don't they
it's
use the same songwriters?
I don't think so.
Hold on,
Huh.
let's ask the internet.
Ask ChatGPT.
Why
Wow.
don't Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift get along? Tell me why. Come on.
Yeah.
What if Olivia Rodrigo and Charlie XCX come out with a collab album about Taylor Swift
Ooh,
while we're at it?
aren't Charlie and Taylor friends?
I mean, I don't know, but sympathy is a knife is how like Taylor Swift makes her feel inadequate and like, she doesn't
Oh,
like people comparing her to her.
who
Um,
they're like are nothing alike. Who are comparing? Why would
but
they compare?
it's pop culture, girl. They compare
Yeah,
everybody to everybody for no good reason. But can you
yeah.
imagine just like there's this huge like, you know, like whatever you call that, like swing to the left and like pop stars just start ganging up on Taylor Swift. Terrible. But it'd be interesting to watch, I think.
I'm just glad that it's a year of quietness and it's not
I
like
know.
Taylor and her boyfriend in the cycle of news all the time.
I know. I mean, well, now that we're out of award season,
I
hopefully
mean,
we won't have to see her
I do
zoomed in
know,
on.
well, Reputation, Taylor's version is coming out
Mm.
soon. That I've been told by my Swiftie coworker.
So I have the results from the internet.
Uh-oh.
The internet says that there's a rumor of a potential falling out because Rodrigo retroactively gave Swift and Jack Antonoff songwriting credits and royalties for
Okay.
Deja Vu. And this followed accusations that Deja Vu shared similarities with Swift's Cruel Summer. Rodrigo has denied any feud. Some fans believe that the move was a result of Swift's perceived lack of public support for Rodrigo's debut album Sour and her subsequent collaboration with Sabrina Carpenter, whom Rodrigo's ex-boyfriend allegedly left her for.
Yeah. So it's
So.
a rumored feud.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
sounds messy.
So I guess that's the only reason ChatGPT would think it was like a surprise collab.
I see. I just think
Mhm.
they're very similar. They're very similar
Oh,
artists.
they're absolutely very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Coachella 2026 lineup leaking early and it's full of 90s revival acts? Would a revival in the desert work for you? What do you think?
I would if I was 10 years younger, I would go to that.
Who would you absolutely lose it to see on the list?
Of a 90s revival
I feel
tour.
like I know the answer. Yeah. For Coachella though, specifically like
Oh, for
a
Coachella.
Coachella lineup.
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls would be cute, but I thought your answer was going to be Ace of Base.
Oh my God, Ace of Base.
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
great.
Yes, 100% Ace of Base.
Or Aqua. You seem to really enjoy Aqua.
I love Aqua. I saw Aqua actually.
No.
At Pride 2 years ago. Aqua came out with Paris Hilton.
Oh,
Paris
Wow.
Hilton was DJing in Central Park for Pride.
talk about random pairings.
And so, because Paris did like a remix of Barbie Girl on her her recent one of her recent things, and it blew up.
Hmm.
Her remix of Barbie Girl, and so at Pride they decided to bring Aqua out as well to sing the song.
Wow.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Paris is not a great DJ.
Man.
yeah. So I've heard. No, I
Yeah.
actually have not heard that. What about predictions for TV and movies? One of the ones that ChatGPT provided us with was Final Destination Bloodlines getting a surprise sequel greenlit because of a TikTok trend. What could the TikTok trend be? Ooh.
It sounds wild, but I think it would be something along the lines of like the Tide Pod challenge that was like super dangerous. So just kind of people trying to recreate the the kill scenes from Final Destination Bloodlines. I don't know. I feel like social media's gotten to the point where that like could be very plausible. And
That would be
like,
sick.
but then you could meet at the intersection of like Final Destination and Smile,
Mhm.
where like people seeing this happen on TikTok, like then it spreads like a virus.
Right.
I don't know. Something like that.
That's weird. What about a Drag Race alum winning an Oscar?
I could see that happening.
Who do you think it would be?
Jinx.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I could see
Like-
Jinx happening to Jinx. I could see it happening for Bob as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Was it Bob? He did I think a little while ago he did like a Angels in America.
Oh yeah,
He was
UC
in Angels
Berkeley.
Yeah, UC Berkeley. So I could see
Mhm.
Bob possibly winning an Oscar.
I feel like if Bob wins an Oscar, it's going to be for the film adaptation of his novel.
Oh yeah.
Harriet Tubman live in concert.
Mm-hmm.
How is that?
I haven't read it, but I feel it in my bones that that's going to be turned into a movie. I feel it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a great thing to experience, I think. What about Ryan Murphy reviving Glee with drag queens?
I hope it does not happen.
But
Yeah.
if it does, can we have Jan play Rachel Berry? I'm just saying.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yes.
Oh,
That would be
Jan.
wild.
100%.
How do we feel about taking some of our predictions and checking back on them later in the year? Does that sound like it's worthwhile?
Yeah.
That could
Why
be fun.
not?
Because it also ChatGPT also suggested creating a bingo card, like an actual bingo card.
Ooh.
And it's wild. It actually made the bingo card, but it has some wild stuff on there that I'm like,
Stop
I don't
it.
want this.
Stop
Yeah.
it. It made the bingo card.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it made the actual bingo
Listen,
card.
AI is wild. So
Yes, it is.
I was just on my I was in a group thread with like my friend Jay, and he has a corgi, right? And so he has this adorable corgi, and he fed a photo of his corgi next to its cake for its 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took a photo of like the corgi with the cake and the 1 year candle.
Yeah.
And so he gave the AI 2 prompts, and they were able to create a flawless video of the corgi blowing out the candle.
No.
I was like, oh my.
That's scary.
That's insane.
I
When
don't
can we
know.
do it for Gus? How soon can we get one for Gus?
AI kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but like, whatever, man. It's all heading downhill. We might as well have some garbage,
Exactly. Have some
right?
fun on the way to hell.
Well,
Why
I
not?
read an article the other day about an author who submitted her manuscript and everything and it got published, but her editors missed that she forgot to edit out the AI prompt that she fed the AI, or I guess ChatGPT, to write the book for her.
Hmm.
And it was just like, slapped in the middle somewhere. And like there was just all these posts on the internet of like the section like highlighted because like
Oh my
nobody
god,
picked up on it. Can you
Ooh,
imagine?
that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
busted.
Like, it's not even an essay; it's a book. It's like a book that's being published. That's insane to me.
Uh-huh. But the fact that like professional editors missed, because it was like they showed it was like a chunk, where like she was like, okay, that's great, but can you make it more like this? I'd like this and that, like the instructions. And it's like, did you, as an editor, not realize that like the narrative kind of skipped for a second?
Yeah.
There was like a record scratch. No, so maybe the editors are also using AI.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
You
wonder
know?
how higher education is dealing with AI. I'm sure it's like rampant now. And
I'm sure that there are useful ways to use it. It's
yeah,
just, I don't know. I feel like the instinct is to push back, you know,
yeah.
and I feel like there are really great ways. Although I will say, not to. Well, anyway, at work, I basically went to IT for help with something, and they typed my question into a search bar that was AI enabled to find, to find like the solution to this problem. And my initial instinct was like, oh, I could have done that myself. But like, that's kind of wild that you
Mhm.
go specifically to someone who is specialized in a particular thing, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, let me look up your problem in this. It's wild on both sides because it's kind of like you should have you should have a repository of the solutions to problems, because that would just be, like, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel every time? But at the
Mhm.
same time, it feels like cheating a little bit, like, I don't know, there's an element to it that felt very almost low tech in a way.
Mhm.
But anyway, I also recognize that those people are dealing with a lot of different, like a variety of different issues, and they have to come up with solutions for all of them. So they might as well be utilizing AI for assistance every now and again. Um, yeah, they
Wow.
did not solve the problem, just for
Oh.
clarity.
AI just scares me,
Mhm.
especially because like I feel like my job's gonna be replaced eventually.
Yeah, it's a very scary thing, and I don't know. I don't understand how to feel and how to process all of that. And so I just avoid it for right now.
I would love it if I could use AI to make my job easier, but my job is so like
Oh, it
analog
makes my
that
job much easier.
I can't do anything. I have to do like a whole collection move, and I've been like, can I have AI strategize it for me? And it's like, no, I can't. Like you have to think of all those things. It's almost impossible to automate it, but I don't know.
It's it's wild, the speed with which the technology is evolving. That's the
Mhm.
part that is, I think, a little shocking. Like, it's to the point where, again, not to talk about my job again, but they're having a seminar to be able to tell the difference between AI and real video footage. And it's like, how are you even going to teach that? It's opinion based, and then it needs to be qualified by someone who, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not, I don't know. It's such a strange element of technology to to like coexist with, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, wow, I didn't realize we were going to be headed down such an existential off ramp on this one.
hmm
I thought we were going to be out here Nostradamusing these pop girlies.
Well,
Um, yeah. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Come back next week. We're going to talk about the Tonys. Well, we're not going to talk about the Tonys. We're going to talk about Broadway in honor of the Tonys. But
Mhm.
Yes.
it'll be a good time. So like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.